Welcome, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Black World TV, the new black media, your black and intelligent news source. So, family, today's video broadcast is about a boxing champ by the name of Billy Joe Saunders from Britain, who is now suspended after filming a video teaching men how to commit domestic violence against their wives or significant others. Yes, I know, not very smart at all. This guy, I want to call him the Great White Hope, but we're going to give him a better name, the Great White Dope. So, WBO super middleweight champion Billy Joe Saunders had his license suspended by Britain's boxing authorities on Monday after a social media post in which he advised men how to hit their female partners during the coronavirus lockdown. The British Boxing Board of Control, or the BBBC, said in a statement that Saunders' license would be suspended until a hearing could be arranged under its misconduct regulations. Saunders had filmed himself punching a bag in a barn and advising, quote, dads, husbands, and men with girlfriends how to deal with their female partners during the coronavirus lockdown. That video, by the way, has since been deleted. But it goes, quote, if your old woman is giving you a little bit of mouth and you try to be patient, but about the sixth day, you're just about to explode, unquote, he said in the video, before demonstrating how to hit her on the chin. So Saunders apologized for the video on social media over the weekend and again on British radio station TalkSport on Monday, when he also pledged to donate $31,000 or 25,000 pounds to domestic abuse charities. Quote, I just want to say sorry again for everyone I've offended, unquote, he said on TalkSport. Well, let me stop for a second there. It's typical for these athletes, actors, politicians, and the rest for them to always come out on TV and apologize for something that they've done. It's like you've already done the deed, you've already done the act, and for you to come back and apologize after the fact, we already know what time it is with you. It doesn't matter your I'm sorry. That just doesn't matter. You could take that sorry and shove it somewhere. Who cares? But when you come with the I'm sorry after the fact, that doesn't take away what disgusting behavior or feeling or whatever the case may be that you've put onto that other person. I'm sorry just doesn't cut it, in other words. But I digress. He says, quote, I looked at it as a bit of a joke at first. I obviously wasn't thinking right. But looking back at it now, I can clearly see the destruction it has caused among the women suffering from domestic violence, unquote. It was a silly mistake, but I didn't intentionally mean to cause harm to anyone, and I certainly wouldn't promote domestic violence. But you did, Saunders, you did. Well, Saunders was scheduled to face Mexican Sal Canelo Alvarez in a super middleweight unification bout on May 2nd in Las Vegas before the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. The Briton, who is unbeaten in 29 bouts and held a world title in the middleweight division before moving up to super middleweight, was fined 100,000 pounds by the BBBC in September 2018 for previous social media posts. In that instance, Saunders posted a video on social media in which he offered a woman drugs to perform a sex act on another person. Well, family, first of all, I found out that those drugs that he offered to the woman happened to be crack. So yes, he offered a woman crack to perform a sex act on another person. Now, mind you, the media is talking about this, and the guy's not in jail, and he's a professional boxer. Could you imagine a black man being in that position, doing or saying something like that? Not only would he be suspended, but his career would be over, in other words. And that should be the case with this loser here. It should be the case with this loser, Billy Joe Saunders. Yes, that's what should happen. His career should be over. But the BBBOC said in a separate statement on Monday that it had further extended its suspension of the boxing tournaments under its jurisdiction for the month of May. Well, let's just say that this guy has had more than just those instances that I just mentioned to you. There was another situation where he drew ear after an audio clip circulated last week in which he could be heard laughing about getting 3 boxers thrown off of a plane by calling the airline and saying his friend had coronavirus-like symptoms. Saunders later tweeted he had been seriously concerned about his friend and not making a prank call, despite audible giggles in his retelling of the story. Audible giggles. Saunders was most recently seen in the ring defending his title against Marcelo Esteban Coceres in the main card of the rematch between YouTubers KSI and Logan Paul. Saunders' suspension could put his next fight, which could be the biggest payday of his life, into potential doubt. Well, that certainly should be the case. Why would you reward a man like this with such foul and bad behavior? Why would you reward someone like that? It would be setting a bad example to our youth and those who are doing right. So I hope that his biggest potential payday of his life, I hope it is in potential doubt. But I digress. Saunders was previously scheduled to face superstar Canelo Alvarez in May, as I stated before, but that fight has been postponed due to the coronavirus pandemic. If Saunders isn't reinstated by the time the match can be rescheduled, it seems possible Alvarez could seek a different opponent, perhaps one that doesn't record domestic violence how-tos or offers of crack for sex or retellings of coronavirus prank calls. Anyways, you heard it here at Black World TV, the new black media, bringing it to you once again, hoping you like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, Black World TV, the new black media, your black and intelligent news source. We'll see you in the next video.
All right, Sergio, we'll get to Ryan Garcia in a minute, but I want to talk about the news of the day, and that is Billy Joe Saunders finding himself in hot water once again. The reigning super middleweight champion was suspended by the British Boxing Board of Control after posting a video of him hitting a heavy bag and describing it as how a man hits his wife if she's nagging too much during quarantine. Sergio, Billy Joe Saunders is tentatively scheduled to face Canelo Alvarez at some point when the coronavirus spread lifts. What's your reaction to his latest outbreak?
It's disgusting, and it's not the first time Saunders did something like this to disgust the public and his fans. I think the British Commission did the right thing. They should suspend him for doing something like that. I'm with that. And it's not the first time he's getting in trouble like this. Someone needs to take away the social media account of Saunders because he's just not good at that. And Canelo needs to move on. Everyone wants a trilogy. That's it. Move on. Go into the fall. Go into September. Triple G. Let's get it on.
Yeah, I'm with you that Canelo should walk away. And the British Boxing Board of Control, its suspension really doesn't have a lot of teeth when it comes to overseas fights. They can keep Billy Joe Saunders from fighting domestically, theoretically anyway, but they can't stop him from fighting in Las Vegas, which is where he would fight Canelo if that fight were to materialize. But Billy Joe Saunders he keeps putting his foot in his own mouth, and he keeps being incredibly self-destructive. It was a couple of years ago, Sergio, that he was caught on tape offering a homeless woman crack cocaine in exchange for hitting a passerby. This time around, this is something that Billy Joe Saunders himself was okay with winding up on social media. This wasn't an off-the-cuff reference that was caught on a hot mic. This was something Billy Joe Saunders clearly planned and allowed to be posted on social media. So if Billy Joe Saunders wants to blame somebody, he only has to blame himself. And if I'm Canelo Alvarez, I think I'd be doing the right thing and punishing Billy Joe Saunders by walking away and forcing him out of a career-high payday.
Yeah, you punish him that way. You punish him with money, and don't give him that opportunity for a mega fight. A fight that he's needed and has been asking for a long time. But Billy Joe Saunders is his worst enemy. And it's not only that homeless situation. Didn't he get in trouble for throwing a piece of chicken at Deontay Wilder as well, if my memory serves me right? He's just not good with social media. He's not good with promoting himself in a decent manner. And that's why he's hindering himself. He's his own worst enemy.
Yeah, Billy Joe Saunders, his mouth was part of the reason that he got this fight against Canelo. But there's a line, and Billy Joe Saunders has once again crossed it.